Well, hello there, and welcome back to Mr. E's Mysteries and Magics. This video is something of a follow-up to a video I did earlier. You may recall the original effect that I posted earlier called the no marked cards effect, and that trick, if you will, used the Sy-Stebbins order as part of the secret. Sean McDowell, in the comments to the tutorial for that particular effect, asked me if I was familiar with the Bart Harding Stack, and as it turns out, I most certainly am. So we're going to do a little video on that right now. The Bart Harding Stack is probably not as well known as Sy-Stebbins or mnemonica, probably not as well known as the Aronson stack, but it is a very good stack to use, and it's got its similarities and differences with the Sy-Stebbins stack, but it's really a good one for beginners because it doesn't require a lot. In fact, it doesn't require really any memorization at all, unlike the mnemonica and Aronson stacks. If you can handle the numbers 0, 5, 13, 26, and 39, you can handle the Bart Harding stack. Okay, so how is it different from the Sy-Stebbins stack? Well, first of all, it is completely random looking. Okay, so you can show this to your spectators and your audience, and they won't be able to discern any pattern to it, unlike Sy-Stebbins. The biggest similarity is their simplicity and that they don't require any real memorization, just some quick calculations that you can do easily in your head. It is not cyclical like Sy-Stebbins, so if you're going to shuffle the deck, you have to use a truly false shuffle, and you have to use truly false cuts. You can't do anything that will upset the order of the cards as they are in the deck already. Okay, you can't even do that kind of, I don't know if it's a fake shuffle or a controlled shuffle thing of the Sy-Stebbins shuffle, where you're really just cutting cards back and forth and it looks like you're actually shuffling the cards. So it's not cyclical. And another difference is that because this pattern is totally random, there's no actual formula to it, it takes a lot longer to put a deck into the Harding order because you simply have to do it one card at a time. There is no way that I know of other than that, one at a time with a sheet that has the list of how they go in order and blah-de-blah-de-blah. And it is a little bit time-consuming getting a deck into the proper order. But what we do have here, and I'm not going to tell you what that order is because we'll be here till at least, I don't know, 2 years from next Shrove Tuesday or something. But what I am going to tell you is that there is a nifty little sheet that you can download as a PDF. It's actually two 8.5 by 11 pages here, just regular, size piece of paper, 2 pages. You can download this, and of course the link to the download, it's a Google Doc type of thing. It will be in the description below, so you can go directly to this page, and if you're interested, download this this document here. And of course, as you can see, obviously you can print it out. Now, you might be wondering why it has 2 setups. Well, basically with the Bart Harding stack, you need to use 2 decks of cards, except that one of them, this one down here, is actually going to be in your head rather than on the table. This is the Bart Harding order here on this top 2 rows here. That's the order the cards will be in that you're playing with. This deck is going to be something you're just going to have to memorize. But you said there's no memorization, Mr. E. Oh, my brain is full. How can I memorize a whole deck of cards and oh, I can't do it. Yes, you can, because you don't have to memorize that second deck. It's basically new deck order with aces always low and counting as 1 up to the king. And every card in between is clearly in numerical order by face value. And again, as always with these things, the jack is worth 11, queens are worth 12, and the kings are worth 13. And as I said earlier, the ace is always first. It's always just worth 1, okay? And on top of that, you can remember that, right? Ace through king, you can remember that. On top of that, the suit order is chased order. So the first suit is clubs, all right here. You probably can't see it. But the first suit here is clubs, then comes your hearts, then down here in the second row is the spades, and the last 13 cards are the diamonds. Okay, so that's easy enough to remember. It's not really any memorization at all. It's very simple and straightforward. So what do you do? Well, what you have to do is, in your mind, you have to visualize where a card in the Harding order is in that new deck order first, and then work from there to figure out what you're going to do with the card in the deck. For instance, this is the formula for how it works. Let's say that you are doing a particular little thing and your spectator says, okay, wise guy, in your little random card, you do one of these things. You go, okay, I'm going to memorize the entire deck. Okay, I got it. Oh, look at that. Wait a minute. All right, yeah, I got it really now. Okay, I got it down pat now. I'm not going to do any other tricks besides that because we're not going to be here forever. But let's say they say, okay, wise guy, you have the deck memorized just by doing that. Where's the king of clubs? Well, in your head, you visualize the king of clubs is in the 13th position in the new deck order that we just discussed. All right, it's the 13th card. All right. Now, what you do to find its position in the Harding order is you reverse the tens digit and the ones digit. So the 13 becomes 31. The king of clubs will be the 31st card in, I'm not going to find it now, it's going to take forever, but it will be the 31st card in the Bart Harding Stack. Take my word for it. That's where it is, okay? So that's easy enough. But now you're going to say, well, Mr. E, if you reverse some of those cards, you end up with a number that's higher than 52. And the last time I looked, there's only 52 cards in a deck. Very true, my friends. So what do? Let's give you an example, all right? Let's say they ask you to find the 6 of diamonds. Okay, in your head again, up in your overfull brain, you visualize that the 6 of diamonds is the 45th card in the new deck order. All right, so you reverse those, and it becomes 54. That is obviously higher than 52. It can't possibly be in the 54th position. What do? Remember I said you have to be familiar with the number 5? Well, here's where that comes into play. You subtract 5 from the first digit, the tens digit. Okay, you subtract 5 from the tens digit. So 5 minus 5 becomes 0. You basically take that 5 and you add it to the ones digit. In this case, the ones digit is a 4. So that's 4 plus 5 is 9. So you have 0 and 9 is now your new number, all right? By subtracting 5 from the tens digit, adding 5 to the ones digit, and what is the 9th card in the deck? Of course, it is the 6 of diamonds, okay? Need to point out 2 exceptions to this rule. I don't know why these are exceptions. I don't know the math behind it. I don't have any idea how this worked out. But when Bart was working this out, I think he worked this out back in the 1960s, for whatever reason, the 6 of clubs and the 7 of clubs don't follow that particular formula. I don't know why. So if someone says to you, well, where's the 6 of clubs in your deck, or where is the 7 of clubs, what do? Simplicity itself. The 6 of clubs is the 6th card down, and the 7 of clubs is the 7th card down. Okay, those two will always be there. You don't have to calculate anything. You don't have to reverse any numbers. The 6 of clubs is 6. The 7 of clubs is 7. End of story. That's it. Now, let's do the reverse. Let's say someone says to you, what card is at the 21st position in the deck? Well, the first thing you do, again, is reverse the cards, okay? The numbers. Reverse the numbers of the card. So you take the 21 and you reverse it to 12. Now you think about the new deck order, and you've got the number 12. What is the 12th card in that new deck order that we talked about that's up in your head? It's the Queen of Clubs, okay? So sure enough, and again, I'm not going to bother looking it up, but the 12th card down in the Bart Harding Stack will be the Queen of Clubs. Okay, again, what happens if your number is comes out to higher than 52, all right? Like they say to you, what is the 48th card in your deck? Well, you reverse those, you flip those over, and you have 84. So you subtract 5 from the 8, gives you 3. Add that 5 to the 4, gives you 9. That gives you, now the number is 39. What is the 39th card in the deck? The King of Spades. All right, and again, you're going to visualize what is the 39th card in the new deck order. It's the King of Spades. Now, how do I know when I visualize the new deck order where the card is? Again, simplicity itself, but it may take a little bit of practice to do this. Clubs are worth 0. Remember I said 0, 13, 26, and 39? Clubs basically are worth 0. Hearts are worth 13. Spades are worth 26. And diamonds are worth 39. Those numbers indicate the number of cards already in the previous suit. What's the previous suit to clubs? Nothing. 0. Hearts. What is the previous suit to the hearts? The 13 clubs. Okay, so when you get hearts, your number is 13. Likewise, the spades have 2 suits in front of them, clubs and hearts. Their number is 26. And the diamonds have all 3 of the other suits in front of them. It's 39. So if someone says to you, again, let's use the King of Clubs, all right? The King of Clubs. King of Clubs, you know, is the 13th card in the clubs. It's the last club. Okay, so someone says to you clubs, you say 0, add 0 to it. The king is the 13th card. I know that because it's the way it's set up. So the King of Clubs is number 13. Let's say, okay, again, we'll use the 6 of diamonds. How did I know that the 6 of diamonds was the 45th card in the new deck order? Well, 45, the nearest number to 45 without going over is, of course, 39. All right, so we know diamonds is worth 39. So 45 minus 39 gives you 6. Add 39. Someone says diamonds, 6 of diamonds. Okay, diamonds are worth 39. Add 6. It's the 45th card. 39 plus 6 is the 45th card. Someone says the 6 of hearts. You add 13 because you got to take into account the clubs. So, and we know that the 6, because it's in numerical order, is the 6th card in the hearts. So 6 plus 13, the 6 of hearts will be the 13 plus 9, the 19th card in the new deck order. You see how this works? The 6 of spades, again, you add the 26 because you have to take into account the 26 cards making up clubs and hearts. So 26 plus 6 is 32. The 6 of spades is the 32nd card in new deck order. And if you have to reverse it, then you just subtract the numbers. Okay, for instance, we said, what is the card at the 21st position? It turned out to be the Queen of Clubs. When you take the 21 and you flip them to the 12, that's less than 13. So you know you're talking about the 12th card in clubs, okay, because you don't add anything to clubs, all right, and the Queen is the 12th card. We use the King of Spades. Again, this one's kind of easy because the 39th card is, again, going to be the last card of the spades, because you simply take the 13th card, which would be the King, and add 26 to it, and it's 39 anyway. So you know that the last card, the 39th card, is the last card in the spades section, and so that would be the King of Spades. It's just a matter of knowing and very quickly deciding which number to add by determining which suit you're working with, or using the number to subtract out and find out what suit you're working for. So what I've done to make things a little easier, and again I emphasize that this is going to look more complicated than it really is. Okay, you've got this sheet. Let me show you what I did on one other sheet that I have. As you can see, it shows here the decks in order. Explains down here about how to reverse the numbers. On the back, it explains in these nice big numbers right up here how to add and subtract the 5 from the 10's digit and add it to the 1's digit, and so on and so forth. And then it gets into this thing about how to determine what card is at a particular position, okay? What it doesn't do is it doesn't really explain how to visualize the new deck order. So what I've done is on my sheet here, I put a little equals 0 next to the clubs. And I don't know if you can see this, but a little equals 13 next to the hearts. And then down here, a little equals 26 next to the spades. And a little equals 39 to the next to the diamonds, okay? Now, to make this even easier, here's what I'm going to provide. Not only the link to where you can download this sheet, but I've created a series of, well, it's kind of like a computer flow chart, a series of if-then statements. If your suit is clubs, add 0. If your suit is hearts, add 13, and so on and so forth. In the description box. When you look at it, you can say, oh my God, that's very complicated. But if you look at it carefully and kind of understand what you're doing, it really is just a straightforward, because you're going to skip most of the stuff. If it's a hearts, you skip everything else in that section and move on. You do your addition and then you move on to the next step. You're really only doing one line out of each step, and there's only 3 steps to each part of the trick. So, and then I've done that also for, done that once for finding out the position of a card, and also finding out what card is in a certain position. So because you basically have to do the math backwards to find out what card is in a certain position. Okay, so take a look at that little flow chart that I've got in the description box. And while you're down there, you might want to take a look at the website for RP Magic Shop, which sponsors this channel, and you may find something you really like. I know some of you have already done that, so that's great, and thank you very much. And again, I really urge you to kind of study the Bart Harding Stack. It really doesn't take long to learn it and how to use it. I don't have a trick to show you with it, but you know, you guys are smart. You can come up with stuff, because it's a really good stack to always leave them baffled.